Today we're going to be reviewing what, in my opinion, is one of the best new sets this year. We've got the Mario and the Mario Kart $170 set, and we're also going to be taking a look at the blue Spiny Shell that you could redeem for 2,500 Insiders points. I mean, I cannot stress enough how much I love this build. I think they just completely nailed the shape of Mario's body and the cart, and there are so many impressive angles to get all the curves, and I think they just did a great job on it. So let's get right into it. Let's just start with the Spiny Blue Shell because this thing is smaller, and then we'll get onto the cart, but this thing was great as well. You can see it's got the white shell pieces around that they used on Bowser that kind of look like the macaroni tubes, and then they got all these different blue panels around, and I think they pretty much did the best job they could to get the curvature while having minimal lines in the middle. You can see there are some breaks in it, but I think overall for the size of it, it's super hard to get that curve, so I'm really not too upset about that, and I think up on a shelf, you're really not going to be able to notice it. But yeah, this is one of my least favorite items in the game because if you don't know, when you're in first place, I believe towards the end of the race, this thing will come and spin above you and smash down and just destroy your cart, and usually it'll ruin your chances of winning. And just like the Mario Kart build, I think they did a great job achieving all of these different curves and angles while maintaining a build that has little studs showing. Like the only really exposed studs you see are on these panels with the white spikes on it, but overall I think that is a very smooth look. I did pop this panel off so you can kind of see the structure of the interior, but there's 4 little ball joints, 2 on each side, and that piece is kind of stuck, but the plus of it would go into this circular 2x2, and then you just stick it on there, and that's how it kind of creates this perfect circular effect going all the way around. Now that we're done looking at this dangerous thing, let's move on to the main build, the Mario Kart with Mario. And here it is. This thing is just absolutely beautiful. One of my first games I remember even playing was Mario Bros on the DS and Mario Kart, so this thing is amazing to have in person. I'm just so blown away by the way they got this shape and all the build techniques throughout. Like, just look at all these curves. Like, that is just perfect. And like I was talking about with the blue shell, there are not many exposed studs, so they were able to get all these shapes while not having many studs poking out. His hat was a perfect shape, I think. They did a great job with his hair, the exhaust, the wheels. All of these pieces are printed, no stickers. This thing was just incredible, so let's get right into it. So this set did come with 1,972 pieces, and the Mario I think is great. You can pose him all over, you can turn his head, you can move his hands up and down, you can put his hands on the wheel, you can even turn the wheel and the front wheels will turn. His pedals even move. I think they did a great job with the way his body just fits perfectly into that gap, so his feet are touching the pedals. He is stuck onto the cart, and I know that was a complaint that some people had. They were saying they wish you could kind of take him off and just have him like standing up, but he's kind of built into the sitting position. I don't really mind though, because I am going to be displaying him like this, and I think this looks incredible. I don't think they could have done any better job on the shape of his car. I think they completely nailed this. Like, just look at the back too. Great job on this. And another thing I love with it is the stand. You can see how I can easily rotate this all the way around. This stand is very simple, but it's genius the way they built it. So let's take him right off, and this is the stand. You can tilt him so many different ways, and this is how it's built with just that little opening. You just plop him right on in there, and then you can pretty much move him however you want. I think that was a great job, and I hope they make more sets with stands like this. I think it'll look amazing on the shelf like this. And as I mentioned, there are no stickers, so as you see, this piece is printed, that's printed, his eyes are printed, the wheels are, these pieces back here on the exhaust are printed. Like, for a $170 set, this was amazing. And I do have a complaint because with the Jango Fett Slave one that was $300, there were quite a few stickers, so why do we have a set that's over $100 cheaper with all printed pieces? It was a great building experience with all the printed pieces, so I don't know why they don't just do it with all the sets, so that's my rant. Oh, and this was printed as well, you can see his gear. This thing was just so fun to build. Like, the techniques were so incredible. Like, just look at the way the steering works. You can kind of see in there, there's that piece that spins back and forth, and it's so simple but genius the way that controls the wheels. And of course, it's controlled by turning the shaft right there. Just incredible. And another thing I really liked was his hair. I think they did a great job representing the way his hair is kind of coming out of his hat. It's got these circular pieces down here. And then even on the side, it looks great the way it comes over his ear. I also love the mustache piece they made for him and the nose. That's a new piece as well, and I think it's perfect. Your nose. It's a closer look at it. Just a perfectly round piece, and then there's the mustache as well. Super cool. I'm glad they went all out with this set. And there you can kind of see the shape of his face without his mustache, but I love the way they got it all around with his cheeks. Then you got his smile there. There is the gap, but it gets covered by the mustache and his eyes. This thing is just an A+ build in my opinion. I was so impressed by this. And I am hoping, since they went so all out with the prints and the pieces, like these pieces especially, that we'll see more carts. Like I hope they do Luigi, because they could reuse these dishes on his cart. I hope we see much more of this, because all of the adult style Mario sets have been exceptional. And here's Mario popped out. You can kind of see what I was talking about when I said he was built into the car instead of his own like buildable figure that could stand up on its own. I know people were saying that they could pretty easily modify the pieces and make him stand up, but you could see the way he snaps in just on those 4 studs on each side. And they honestly did a great job with the seat as well, the way that curves around, and you can get a better look at the steering wheel and then the pedals down there. I think the whole shape of the car was just so satisfying, like even those red parts in there that lead out to the wheels and these 2x2s on the back. I just think they knocked this out of the park. I definitely don't think they could have done any better on this thing. And as for the Mario, I think they did a pretty perfect job as well. He's pretty posable. He's got his little overalls with his yellow buttons on there, the little brown shoes he's got, his white gloves, another printed part around the side there. Great job with his hands and fingers. And then his head is posable as well, as we already saw. And then I just love his hat also. This was just so cool the way they built this, because it kind of came together in 3 different parts. So you had like all these different Technic parts that stick together, and then this kind of went in that way. That was just super cool the way they did that. I'm so impressed by the designers on this one. I think the posability of this set is so perfect, because I just think it'll look amazing on the shelf where you have him looking at you like that, and then you can put his hand up in the air. He's in that classic pose. That is just so perfect. And of course, it does roll naturally. I think it would be super cool if you could modify this thing to make it remote control. That would be so much fun, but I don't know if that's even possible to do. And honestly, I think the Blue Shell is at a pretty good scale to him and what it would be in the game if this item was crashing down in his cart. I think both of these look great, and I cannot wait to display them on the shelf side by side. But that does lead us to our next problem, because I would love to have him near Bowser and some of the other like 18+ style Mario sets. But we are kind of running out of shelf space. You can see our shelf down there is full. All these are full over here. These ones are filling up. Those are full. All those cubes are full. Coming over here, this is like a disaster. This is all like temporary. I'm gonna redo this whole thing, so we need to find a spot for Mario. Let me know if you have any suggestions for how I should do this. I'm not sure yet if I'm just gonna totally rearrange the mantle up here and then find some space for him up there. Or another thing I could do is I could move him into this side of the room over here, because we have the NES. Maybe I could redo all of these shelves and have like Mario, maybe if Bowser will fit on one of these shelves. I honestly don't know. So yeah, I'll drop a video soon once I place this in the collection, but I'm gonna need some time to think about it, because I honestly have no idea where he's gonna go right now. And another thing I think is cool is I have this smaller, I think this was like a $20 or $25 set, where it had Toad and Mario's Standard Kart. And this is just the smaller version of this upscaled cart. And you can see like they did a great job upscaling this and just nailing the shape of it in both of them. There's the mini version, there's the big version. I think if anything, it would be super cool maybe if they added some flames coming out of the back of this, like some huge ones, or I don't know, maybe someone will do a custom mock where they build a glider on top of this one and he can be flying. But I think it's just cool looking at them side by side like this. Alright, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this review. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this Mario set. Is it worth $170? Are you picking it up soon? Are you going to try to wait for a sale? And what do you think of the Mario line? Do you think they're going to do any more carts like this? If so, do you have a favorite character you want them to do first? Do you want them to do a big Toad or Luigi? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in our next video.